this is John the Vintage Fisherman. Today I've got a really nice old Ambassador. It's a 5000, made in Sweden. I'm thinking by looking at this, it was made in, I want to say 66. Y'all tell me. I can't seem to figure out these Ambassadors. They changed the numbering on them over the years. It's a beautiful shape. It's just got a little bit of rash on it probably from slamming around in a boat. But I'm gonna admit something. I made a mistake. I bought this reel with really bad pictures at on an internet auction, thinking it was a 5001. Which would be a really rare reel. It's a 4-screw reel, so it's got some value to it. And when it came in the description, didn't say what was it didn't have really, it just said a red Ambassador, and it didn't really say whether it was a 5000, 5001, whatever. So I bought it hoping it was a left-hand reel because I was just really hot after it, but it's not. It's a right-hander, so I'm not 100% sure I'm going to keep it, but I'm definitely going to fix it up, clean it up, and if I don't use it, somebody can use it. I will sell it at auction. I'll take the handle off of it here. This is an older one. I don't think I've ever been through an Ambassador this old, so we're going to learn together. Here's the keeper. We've got a 10mm acorn nut. It's got an oil hole in the middle of it. Then you've got, that's gonna fit. Yeah, it will. Got a keeper nut, or a keeper screw on the top of it, which you oil through, and your handle comes off. Star drag will back off. This is pretty much standard Garcia stuff here. Just protect those threads a little bit with some lubricant. Pretty stiff just from being grungy, I guess. There was no washer underneath that handle, so. Okay, we'll take the thumb screws loose. I'm gonna keep this reel 100% original. I'm not doing anything crazy to it. Your spool comes out. Don't see any point in taking that off of there. The flyweights are slipping off, so we'll take care of those over here. There's no point in, I see, in going any further with that. It'll all clean up good. So we'll leave the spool alone. Let's take this plate off. Now we got grass or something up in there. Why not? This is a 4-screw. I see there's some kind of significance to that. I know when I was bidding on this reel, somebody was bidding pretty aggressively against me. So there's something about this reel that's special. I don't know what that is. All right, I got one here that's, oh boy, not wanting to come apart. We have to go to, now we can get with this. Why does that not want to stay on there all of a sudden? I'm having to use my little improvised screwdriver to break those loose. They're in there pretty tight. That's too big. We'll go with this one to run it with. This one's going to get cleaned up and put back together original, and then I'm going to stare at it for a couple days and think about whether I want to keep it or sell it. If I decide to sell it, you'll find it on my eBay store. It's the Vintage Fisherman with the number 1 at the end of it. The Vintage Fisherman 1. Got a few things on there right now. I am getting rid of a lot of my collection, my personal collection. So I'm trying to make myself not keep as many things. We'll be downsizing from this house I'm in now to something smaller in the next coming months. So I might have a little break in my channel where I'm not. There's fishing line. I thought that was grass, but that's actually a piece of fishing line that was stuck up inside the reel, and it was still running smooth, folks. Absolutely incredible. That just goes to show how good of a reel the Swedes make. We'll take this retaining screw off the cog. Because I'm putting all the cover pieces back here. That will come off. Beautiful work here. Got a bushing up in this end. Plan on keeping it. Not going to change anything about this reel. I want to keep it original. Now that might require a different set of snap ring pliers than what I've got here. Yeah, I'm not going to have the right size snap ring pliers for this, I don't think. Now these are a little bit sharper. Let's see if they're the wrong direction. There we go. I had to use an outside type. Well, they worked. They were the wrong ones, but they worked. Now let's see if we can get that bearing out of there. It might be fun. Or bushing, actually. It feels like it's got a spring under it, which concerns me a little bit as I try to work it out of here. No spring. Just a bushing. It's a rounded bushing. Now, this tension knob can come off. The wire is going to stay on there. You got looks like a felt pad up under there. That's to hold oil, I would assume. A whole bunch of shims or washers. We'll get all those out and clean them up. So that's all of that. I'm going to leave that snap ring in there. I don't see any reason to take that out. Since I got the bearing out, we'll put that cap right there. Let's take the level line out of it. I think it's going to be a pretty reel cleaned up. It's the oldest Ambassador I've ever owned. I don't think that's a shim up in there. That'll clean up nice. The level line pawl came out pretty easily. Pull the tube out. There's your level line. Frame is ready to be cleaned. You pull the worm, which is really nasty. That's going to clean up really good. All right, let's take a look at this. This is going to have another bearing up under, or probably a bushing. Yep, there it is. Let's take the felt out of this one. I'm going to keep these separate, folks, so I don't get parts mixed up when I go back together with it. There's one of the shims. Try to do this without tearing these up, folks. These are, try to keep all the original parts of this reel. This is a restoration, for lack of any other terms. It's not a modification. I'm just cleaning it up and preserving it. I took the bearing out, which is also a bushing. I'm pretty sure you could probably get actual ball bearings for this. I don't need that to put them back together, I don't think. There's a really fine head on those screws, really fine. Like a 1/8 straight blade from Snap-on barely fits in it. Barely. I can feel some spring tension on it. Coming apart on me. Didn't want that to happen. There is a plastic bushing up in there, and there's the cover plate. I'm not going to take that snap ring out. This whole thing came apart, but I think how it goes, let's put it back together so we know. I can show it to the camera and I can go back and look at it before I put it back together. Pretty sure it went like this. You got your anti-reverse dog. Yeah, there's the clicker. You've got a straight washer, a cupped washer. We'll go ahead and pull the anti-reverse dog off. I know it goes down so it won't pop out past the cover. The cover kind of retains it. Here is your drive gear. Like I said, I'm not going to replace any parts. I'm not even putting drag washers on this reel. It's going to get cleaned and go back together as is, okay? Some reels are just too pretty not to leave alone, you know? Or to leave alone. You gotta just leave them alone. That goes under the post. So no drag washers there. You got the gear with the clicker, and it's got a drag washer underneath it. This side. Not a lot of drag these little reels, is there? Those of you that know more about them, tell me, learn me on them. You know, I don't know a lot about them. I think with this end of the reel, after I get the, pay attention to how that goes in there. Okay, I see. It's all good. I'll just kind of snap that out of there. The drive tabs go down towards the spool. It makes perfect sense. I want to clean all that just like it is and lube it. I think it'll be better to do that. So there it is. I'll come back to you when I get around to cleaning all these parts up, and we'll put a reel back together. It's going to be beautiful. It'll be a really nice reel. A couple little scuffs here and there. Looks good otherwise. Well, I'm back. I've got this reel cleaned up, and I got some interesting news about this reel, because I'm no expert on on these older Garcias, or really any of them. It's really hard to find a lot of information on these reels, but it turns out, because I asked the right questions to the right people, and let's see if I can show you. There's the serial number on this reel, okay? And that is a serial number. It's not a date code, because this is one of the earlier reels. It's a four screw reel, so the palm pad has 4 screws in it. I've been told that this 166105 reel is from 1960, late 1960 to early 1961. One expert. Another expert said it was shipped from the factory in 1960. So he apparently has more information than I have on that reel. So I got to put it all back together now. I don't think it's going to be a problem though. Let's just oil everything up good, and we'll start over here on this side. I'm not going to go heavy on the grease. This is going to be a reel that's going to sit on my shelf, and I'm going to keep this in my collection because I feel pretty fortunate to have it. So let's do a little extra cleaning here on it, because it's just the way these reels are made. They're kind of hard to get down in there and clean all these little areas. So I didn't get everything like perfectly spotless on it by any means, but that's okay. I wanted to keep it as original as I can. I didn't do a lot of extra cleaning because of that. So I don't recall any kind of a washer being on this right here. I know when I took it apart I never saw anything, so we're going to put this back together. I know you can oil this once it's together, but I want to go ahead and put some oil on it. Okay, and actually the anti-reverse dog needs to go on there with it. The anti-reverse dog goes in like this, and it slips onto that stud right there, and give it a little bit of oil where it pivots. Then it got a it got this drag washer up under there. Now, I'm not going to put any cowls on that because the type of washer that is, I don't think it's necessary. We'll put it on there, and let's get some lube on the bearing, on the gear. I feel pretty fortunate to have this and wanted it at auction like I did. It was I got in like I said, a bidding war with somebody on this one, and I see why that person was after it so heavy, because it's an older reel. It's not rare, folks. Don't get me wrong. I wouldn't say it's worth a lot of money or anything. Is it even worth what I paid for it? I don't know. I mean, I may have gotten took on it, but yeah, I feel fortunate to have it. So, all right, so that goes on there like that. Then your outer drag washer will just slide right in there and sit on that. And here's your clicker. It goes in like that. And just making sure I get it together right here. This will go in with the cupped washer. I put the cup washer with the cup up. And that will go in, and then you got your plastic bushing. I believe that's everything there. I did forget something. I may have to take it all back apart, actually. Yep, I've got to take it back apart. So let's just pull that off. I've got to put the gear in there, and that's going to require a little bit of lubricant right there. and then lubricate the gear. I knew I was forgetting something. Don't have to go real heavy because I put a lot of grease on that gear, so we'll just we'll go light on it. And yeah, I know I'm using pin lube on a Garcia. It's all good, trust me. We're gonna get through this. That's all I've got. I don't have any of the Garcia grease here at the house, so all right, we got that. And just looking it over, just giving it a good once over, folks. The bushing goes in there. I don't know if it was really made to come out that way or not, to be honest with you. It's not. I don't know how I got it out, but I did. So we'll put it back in the way it's supposed to go in there. Keep that sitting right there. I'll put that in. And, well, I don't want to go that way either. That's kind of odd. Oh, I might be doing it wrong here. That would be something new, wouldn't it? I see. I see. Okay, there's a tab there. Now see, it just locked. It just falls right in. I didn't need to take that clip out after all. There we go. Now put that clip in it back in there. Hopefully we won't lose it. Wish I hadn't took it out now. Everything has to be a fight, don't it? Can't just pop back in there, can it? There we go. Gotta give it a little poke here. It's pretty close. There we go. All right, I'm gonna oil that up good. Now, this cap had these two washers or shims down in them, I guess. And you can oil this from the outside, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to swap these around. Put the one that hasn't had any pressure against it out to the front. And we'll oil those up good. Then it got this green felt in there. It's been oiled pretty good. And it goes, let's give it just a dab of grease on those threads. I think you can use these in conjunction to center the spool. I don't know. We'll deal with that when we get to that point. I've never owned one of these, so go easy on me. I want to put some grease on that bushing. Okay. Put some grease on these two studs here that the screws go into. And we're going to put this thing together. I may, there we go. goes. I was going to say, I may have to actually put that bushing in the other way, but it went in. Now I know I'm getting a little bit off frame here because I'm just kind of feeling my way through this rebuild here. Beautiful old reel. I'm glad to have it. I don't use right-handed bait casters. It's all good. I'm not going to use the reel. It's going on my shelf. Make sure it's all the way together. Okay. We'll put the star drag on. Going on better than it came off. Still need to hold it with something. Oh, hang on, I got to turn the heater off. Seems like any noise at all interferes with my audio here. I don't quite have enough sticking up there to put the handle on it yet. So I'm going to hold that lightly. Maybe I can get the handle on it now. Yeah. I guess I really kind of need to get the schematic for this reel, make sure I've got, because I don't see one of the washers like they normally have on them, but maybe they didn't use them back then on the Garcias. So okay. All right. And it gets oil. That's how you oil that shaft. Actually, it has an oil hole through the middle of that screw, so you only have to take that out. Put that in there. Then your cap, or acorn nut for the handle. And your lock for the handle nut. I can't say that this is the original handle to this reel. I can't imagine they had rubber knobs back then. But that's what's on it. That's what's going with it. All right. We got that part done. Let's do the level line. This thing was really, really dirty. I had to do a lot of actual just like hand cleaning to it. And of course that slides up into that groove on the top bar, and here we go. Then your retainer. The retainer was in on this one. Like, I don't know if it really matters too much, but I always put them in the other way, but we'll put it in the way it came out. I can't imagine this thing had ever really been apart. Don't want to go though. Why don't I want to go? Is it in there all the way? Oh, it's upside down. There we go. My bad. There, that snapped into place. And this should. I think it's got to go like this, to be honest with you. They don't really want to fit either way. It just seems like it's sticking out too far for me for some reason. It certainly can't go up in there any further. Yeah, it can. Well, maybe it can't. Huh. Interesting. Don't see where that looks right to me, but we'll try it and see. This doesn't look right. Yeah, that's not right. That's not going up in there all the way. I don't know why. That won't go in there any further. So I really don't know what's wrong with it. It's not, it's definitely not going together correctly. So, I don't really know. Doesn't make sense. Everything is in the correct position. That won't go in any further than that, but it's not letting this lock go into place. Well, I don't know. Just gonna have to make it work. Never had one in the newer reels fit that tight. Just doesn't look right to me at all. Okay, now set the pawl in where it goes all the way in there. A little oil on that. The cap. Put some oil down in there. Roll that up. Roll that up. Okay. All right. It's kind of the same process over here. The bearing goes in. There's a little tab on that bushing that goes into a slot. So you got to kind of go in here at a bit of an angle and it'll pop right in. pliers up too soon. I need to get me a really good set of, oh gosh, internal snap ring pliers. These are externals that I'm putting the reverse pressure on, which is never a smart thing to do. Good way to send a snap ring into orbit on you, and I do that enough of that around here, trust me, without any help. All right, I got that seated in. Okay, over on this side, well, I've got to put the gear on it. I don't put grease on these gears. I oil them. I found grease is just too damn heavy for them. I don't know. Don't know for sure if what I did there is right or wrong, but I'm just gonna say that's how I'm gonna do it. Spins good. All right, this cap, same situation as the other cap. We got, I'm gonna put a little bit of oil down in there. You got the two shims, pressure plates, whatever you want to call them. Go in there like that. And then your felt washer. And then I know, let's just put some oil on that. I don't think I want to put. This slides down over that wire. You got a slot in that cap, and it goes over that. You got to get it threaded in there, and it hits that wire. It should pop into it right there, and then you tighten it down. That wire is just it just kind of guides us to how much pressure, and you can slide this plate around and zero it, and then you can add and subtract pressure depending upon what kind of lure you're casting or whatever. So let's go ahead and put this drive side or palm side together. A little bit of grease. Make sure your level line works. Put your screws in. Gotta be careful. These screws have got a really fine little head on. I'm gonna tell you what, I'm gonna go with a different screwdriver actually. There we go. That way I don't have to worry about messing them up. Okay. Now the spool, we'll roll this up, roll that up, roll this up, slide the centrifugal weights on there. These little centrifugal weights are super friggin' easy to lose. Slide them all the way to the inside. Make sure those pins aren't bent in any way. We'll put some oil on this end of the shaft and slide it up in there. Make sure your weights are behind that ring. And then we're going to put this reel together. Well, almost. Just a little dab of grease on those threads. Put it all on there. Okay. The spool looks centered. That's about right there for initial backlash setting. Like I said, I don't think this is the right handle for this reel. If I can find the right handle, I will definitely get it. Okay. Super smooth little reel. So there it is. I mean, it's got a couple little scuffs on it. It's not beautiful. It's not perfect. It's perfect for me. I'm glad to have it. I'll keep it in my collection for a long time. Even through my downsizing, I'll probably keep that one because I just like it, you know. It's just like I said, I'll find the correct handle for it, and we'll have fun with it. Sitting on the shelf. Well, anyway, thanks for watching the video. Went a little faster at the end, but I was interested in getting this back together. Please subscribe to my channel, like the video, and please subscribe to my channel. And I've got more content coming up. And then hopefully the fishing is going to start here pretty soon. It's starting to get, we're starting to get some more warm days than cold days now, so that's always good. A lot of the creeks, streams, and ponds and stuff are starting to thaw out. So I'm not an ice fisherman. Not into that at all. So yeah, we're gonna have some fishing content before too long. Well, thanks for watching. This is John, Finished Fishing. Talk to y'all later.